democracy. In that sense, assembly is the highest platform where you seek implementation from the government and you seek accountability of the government. That is what the platform is all about. And best part is that these things are relayed to the people by you media. So it also makes a very huge impact. In that sense, lot of public issues have to come. And now what we see is that this assembly sessions post-COVID, in the name of COVID, they are hardly taking place. And now when they declare it, earlier it used to be good old days, 45 days minimum session of monsoon session, but now it is curtailed. Again now it is curtailed hardly some 10 days.
10 days. Yeah.
So how many issues of public interest will be discussed? That is the concern today.
Yeah. Sawan, tell us now some of the issues that were taken up. Like we were I don't know, our Goa Assembly is always very progressive. We have even discussed Shah Jahan.
Absolutely.
So maybe we can talk about, and also legally that do a lot. Today also the major argument about Kolso, and also give us a general idea before we get into the political side of it.
Probably the parallel that he was trying to draw did not come in good taste. But yes, if he wants to make a point to say that, see, there is a difference between carrying a charcoal bag on your head and carrying a Ganesha idol on your head. गणपती व्हरप आणि कोळशाचें साक व्हरप हातून फरक आसा. कोळशाचो साक केन्नाय काडून सकयल दवरपाक मेळटा, गणपती तसो दवरपाक मेळना. एकदां ताका विसर्जन करता पर्यंत तुवें थंय व्हरपाक जाय. म्हणून जो कोळशाचो साक घेता पळय ताच्या सांगला, अरे तूं 50 किलाचो कोळशाचो साक असोच उखलता मरे, म्हजो 25 किलाचो गणपती उखलपाक तुका कितें प्रॉब्लम आसा. सो तशेंच एक गुदांव बांदप आनी एक थिएटर बांदप हातून फरक आसा. सो फॉर दॅट लिमिटेड पर्पज इफ अ कन्सल्टंट इज अपॉइंटेड, दॅट इज फायन. बट देन टू ड्रॉ एन एनॉलॉजी giving an example of this nature does not go well with the people. So probably, see, the point is taken. See, even while the initial Kalali was built, tenders were not invited. It was given to a specific purpose because the man was genius in that particular area. So for that limited purpose, if a particular work which requires that kind of expertise is given only to a particular person because he has got that kind of experience and expertise, then that is acceptable. That now, as far as lot of people now हातून corruption आसात, ताका पैसे खावपा खातीर दितात. Now आता take this road for example, tenders were issued and it was given to the lowest deal. So you see the result. So पैसे खावपाचे आसा जाल्यार खंय खावपाक मेळटा, ते अमक्याकच दिवपाक जाय अशें कांय ना. यू मीन टू से टेंडर्स जेन्ना इश्यू जाता तातूंत करप्शन जायना. सो करप्शन and giving work to a specific person for a particular result with something in your mind is a different issue than corruption. So both things can be discussed simultaneously. हातून जर अशें करप्शन जालें जाल्यार तशें वेवस्थीत एलिगेशन करून तो पुरावो जर कोण घेवन आयलो जाल्यार ताचेर सुद्दां चर्चा जावपाक जाय आनी सरकारान तेची कारणां वेवस्थीत दिवपाक जाय. अननेसली गिविंग एग्जाम्पल्स ऑफ ताज महल आणि शाहजहान विल नॉट हेल्प.
No, just one minute. Assembly is not a WhatsApp university. It is a serious platform of the people.
Yeah, but Dodor, now I'll bring Anubhav on this. Like just earlier, like it was brought to my notice that this analogy seems to be the flavor of the day. Now Chieftain's Memorial Jata, there the CM is talking about conversions in Goa. I don't know what he's talking about. One of the achievements of the BJP government is putting that past Dominic in jail. How is that relevant as a political man? And I don't know, from the majority community, I would like you to talk about this.
See, what I feel about this is the role of opposition, first of all.
Which is a valid point, yes.
Yes, role of opposition and the session of assembly which we are having now. Now this point of curtailment, first of all, we are having just 10 days. And in those 10 days, I expected the opposition to come very strong. Now, we know major chunk is with the Congress, but when I know for a fact that we as a team of Aam Aadmi Party unit, we were not all MLAs, but hardly whatever we had, we were all busy in preparing for the assembly and we gave all our support to our MLAs. But on the other hand, if you go to see, when on the verge of assembly, the Congress was on a split when it was required from them that they corner the government on every issues. Now if you go to see, then we can see hardly any few MLAs who are actually taking up good issues and coming up bright and shiny in those. One of this is our Wenziva, who is doing an excellent job. Today I was seeing the seafarers issue pension. He has the research and the study which he had with regards to these pensioners, seafarers issue is exceptional. To compliment him, Vijay Sardesai has always, like there are many talks that he is the lone opposition. So I would give it to him on this point, though I belong from Aam Aadmi Party. Venzi and Vijay Sardesai are doing an excellent job, which should have been shared by the opposition. All the Congress MLAs are taking up petty issues and nothing is coming up.
I would like to bring in an ally of the Congress on that. Sorry, I'm not putting in your spot, Dottor, but NCP and Congress are, I don't know, two sides of the same coin, or at least supposed to be, theoretically. They are not, because I agree with Anup that Congress is not really taking up any issues as an opposition. And NCP unfortunately has. What generally about the assembly we can talk about?
No, it is well said. See, it's on decline. It's deteriorated, as my good friend Prakash ji has rightly said at the very initial stage. The very quality of debate, very quality of discussion has been missing. And on the top of it, they have curtailed the time, which was otherwise 45 days, because basically each department is responsible for why they are demanding so much of allocation of funds for them. They have to justify, and opposition has to rightly ask for the cut in the demands. But nothing of that sort is happening. On the contrary, the days are limited now it is only 10 days, and some other excuse comes up, and further they are cutting the valuable time of assembly. Now, as is rightly said, this is the only platform in a parliamentary form of democracy where you can discuss the issues of the people. You go in the streets. I tell you, if you want to really echo what has been the aspiration of people, you will get it in small gadas, you will get it in small taxiwalas, you will go to any small places. They debate and discuss better with the issues which are before them. Now, government wants to come with that. There is a problem with the taxi, because Goa is a tourist state, and the livelihood of a common man who are the taxiwalas depends on them. They may be fleecing the tourists. Then there is a corrective ways for the government to correct it. But don't bring, you are trying to get Ola, now there is a new concept which is there. It is a good thing for it. With other states, counter states, it's been happening, like Delhi, Bombay, Metropolis, it's been very good, very handy. But without discussing the issues and what problem would create on those taxiwala people, government straight away goes for it. And there is no voice for them by the opposition also. So it appears to be, that cock can I to Malayalam version karche, Malayalam version karche. That is the scene what is happening in the assembly, and all are playing for the galleries. They are talking towards the galleries. They are not discussing the issues. I tell you, if you go, you will find the people are mocking them. It is better you go in some resort and enjoy there. Do the resort politics. There was a saying, politics is the last resort of the scoundrels. Now it has become the resort. It's a resort politics. So assembly is not a platform for them. And very quality, we remember, as rightly said, those were the days with Bahusaheb Bandodkar, Jack Sikher. We had a good off late also thereafter. During the time of your Zalmi was there. Even Ramagan Kalak, Dayanand Narvekar, there were a lot of such. You are from South, we had our by-election on Rotle, Raja. So there was quality legislature, and they really know what is legislature. Now it is all given to babus. There were times earlier, but Bandodkar, despite being what you call not well educated, but he could contain the IS lobby. But today everything is going what IS people want. That lobby, IS lobby, which is doing IS, IPS lobby, is controlling the today's administration. That is unfortunate. It is not in the true sense power to the people, and it has been marginalized. The power has been marginalized, which is what you call a tragedy of parliamentary form of democracy. It is unfortunate.
Joseph, I would like to shift the discussion a little bit and get in Viraj here. See, the thing is that this time the government has got the number of seats and all it has got is unprecedented. However, it's not been a total. We have been following it right from the surveys across the thing right up to the election results, exit polls, and government formation. But the margins have been close. So, how close or how important is the narrative of the government given the some sort of you should be, I don't know if you remember, but approximately margins and all tight. Generally about the elections, how was it? So what do you see?
Look, coming to the elections, like he rightly said, in a parliamentary democracy in olden days, it was more about the assemblies, what happened in the legislature. Now that trend has shifted. So most MLAs rely on personal connect with the people, and that kind of politics is prevailing over the rules that are made and the discussion which happens in the assembly. This particular assembly is a very important session from the point of view that this is the first assembly of this new MLAs. Also, 19 out of 40 MLAs are first time MLAs. So
That probably could be
almost
one of
50% are sitting in the assembly for the first time. In addition to that, only 4 out of the 15 MLAs in the opposition are experienced. So it is 30% old faces and 70% new faces in the opposition. So it is a little difficult even for the opposition to perform because of the new faces. It's their first time. Let's give them some time. Maybe they'll improve over time with more number of sessions. So with this perspective, with 25 in favor of the government and 15 on the opposite side, with a lot of new faces in the opposite side, it's a little difficult for them. But even from the government side, I think this is a good opportunity for them as well. So they don't have a very strong opposition per se, at least in this session, and they should make the most out of it.
It's not happening. No, but forget about it. Not happening. That sorry, I take that question back. How many of the government side are new out of 25? 10, 9,
no,
11.
Yeah.
11 of them are new, right?
So we have. Just let me check it out. So there are 11 new from the opposition.
Okay.
And 8 new from the ruling. So
Okay.
11 out of 15 and 8 out of 25
Okay. Are new.
are new. So 30%, 70% new in the opposition, and the number is much lower. So it is almost the opposite.
हातून एकूच गोष्ट म्हणजे ते 8 जे आसा पळय गव्हर्नमेंट.
Yeah, wait. I want to get you in onto this, but in a different way. Now, see, as Viraj said, the numbers are like this: 11 out of 15 are new in the government, in the opposition, and 25 8 out of 25. So 25 still the government is still experience wise pretty, and it has got 25 seats. So is the narrative of what is happening in the assembly okay? What do you feel?
No, that's the problem. You see, the arithmetic of it is, it's not about 8 and 11. ते 8 जण आसात पळय, तांकां प्रश्नाची उत्तरां दिवपाची गरज ना, बिकॉज ते मिनिस्टर ना. मिनिस्टर जे आसात ते सारखे मुरलेले एक्सपिरियन्स आसात. पूण हे 11 जण आसा पळय, तांकां 11 जाणांक प्रश्न विचारचे पडटले, कारण त्यांचे काम ते विरोधकाचे MLA ते एकटोच तांचो लिडर प्रश्न विचारतलो आनी सगळे तुमी ओगी बसतले अशें जावं शकना. सो प्रत्येकाक टायम अलॉट जाल्लो आसतलो, त्या प्रमाणे तांकां प्रश्न विचारचे पडटले, आनी प्रश्न विचारपाक एक ती तुका जर तेचो एक्सपिरियन्स ना, पयलेच फावटी तूं आयला, ताचें ट्रेनिंग सारकें ना जाल्यार हे दीस बिंग द फर्स्ट सेशन दे वील नॉट बी इफेक्टिवली प्रेजेंट देअर क्वेश्चन अँड टेक गव्हर्मेंट टू टास्क. पूण हातून व्हडलो, त्याच्या परस व्हडलो जो म्हाका प्रॉब्लेम दिसता तो ओदून म्हणटा तशें राजकारण सध्या मुद्द्या पासून व्यक्ती कडेन आनी व्यक्ती कडसून स्वार्था कडेन चल्लेलें आसा. आनी हे जे हो जो म्हणजे पाया जो तांचो सकयल आयला पळय, ताका लागून हे असेंब्लीन डिबेट एक निश्कृश्ट दर्जाचेर तुमकां दिसून येता. बरे प्रश्न उपस्थित जायना, बरे डिबेटां उपस्थित जायना. आतां कितले जाणांचे आतां टॅक्सीवाल्यांचो प्रश्न काल हे जाल्लो, पूण तुमी ते डिबेट जर पळयले तुमी जाल्यार कितल्या बऱ्या तरेन ते प्रेझेंट करूं येताले, सरकाराक धारेचेर धरूं येताले. इवन आतां कोळशाचे सुद्दां तुमी पळयले, आत्ताच पळयले डिबेट कमी आनी धुमशाण चड म्हणटा पळय तशा तरेचे चित्र तुमकां थंय दिसूंक येता. आनी तेका एका ऑफकोर्स आय एम नॉट टेकिंग एनीबडी सायड, रुलिंगा परस अपोजिशन ज्यादा रिस्पॉन्सिबल आसा, कित्याक इट इज देअर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी टू ब्रिंग ऑल दीस क्वेश्चन. हे प्रश्न जनतेच्या वटेन तांकां विचारपाचें एक काम विरोधकांचे पयलीं आसा सरकारा परस, आनी तेचेर कांयच म्हणजे खंयच कॉन्ट्रिब्युशन अशें दिसना. ऑफकोर्स इंडिविज्युअल जे अभिमन्यू आसात पळय थोडे आमचे पयलीं पासूनचे, ते प्रश्न विचारतात आनी कांय प्रश्नांतून सरकाराक कचाटेन धरतात सुद्दां, पण इतले इफेक्टिवली हे लोक करता अशें दिसना. सो म्हाका दिसता आनीक इफ नॉट दीस मे बी. आनी तिसरी गोश्ट म्हणजे जो असेंब्लीचो टायम जो कमी केला पळय तो एक म्हत्वाचो प्रश्न आसा, कारण असेंब्लीचो टायम कर्टेल करप म्हणजे प्रश्न विचारपाक तांकां संद कमी मेळटली, भाशण दिवपाचो लोकांचे प्रश्न उपस्थित करपाची संद तांकां कमी मेळटली, आनी तो एक चिंतेचो विशय जावन आसा. असेंब्लीचो टायम जो कर्टेल जाला तो 45 days ना, फॉर सम रिजन इफ इट वॉज टू बी कर्टेल एटलीस्ट ब्रिंग इट टू हाफ.
No, more that curtailing part also I was a little funny. Not even the president, the presidential candidate came and the assembly was curtailed to 12:30. Prakash Babu,
No,
you are the senior journalist among us.
no, I see this discussion really focused. It is the duty of the opposition.
Correct.
Because now when you have 20 plus people on the ruling side, naturally they will not like to antagonize ministers and all by asking questions and making them in an awkward situation.
Correct.
It is the opposition, but unfortunately for Goa, at the beginning, ahead of session, the biggest party, Congress, considered a self-goal and is on defensive, is on back foot. What kind of opposition is this? That is why what is happening is today issues like, say, I am working for disability. Where is the discussion?
Yeah,
people
I
have
nothing
empowerment
is nothing
issues.
is come up.
People have reservation issues. People have accessibility issues. People have education of disabled persons issues. Media is discussing, but will they reflect here?
Yesterday we have
See the
discussed
Congress-
hemophilia the issue.
So
Now,
many issues are there.
GMC has got nothing, no facilities. We are supposed to be one of the very progressive states, and GMC is supposed to be one of the top, but they have nothing. They have no daycare center. Everywhere else, Gujarat has got, Rajasthan has got, X has got, Y have got. We are supposed to be highest per capita income, best roads, best electricity, best water. Roads we'll discuss later, but they don't have a daycare center. Half the doctors probably don't even know what it is.
Now these are marginalized sections of society where they should
For disability,
reflect.
half the government buildings have got no access to
Access
go
is not
disability
there.
to go.
Educational institutions are denying this entry to the students because
These are the issues
No.
that should come up. No? Opposition should not
of
bring it up.
disabled students and all. So I think that opposition should buck up. It is time. As he rightly said, from upside, their MLA Vijay Sardesai. But where is Congress? Where is that effectiveness?
I have spoken to Congress to come on this,
But
anyway, we'll
Congress,
see next week.
whether Congress presence is there or not
Yeah.
in the house or out of the house also today, I would be very candid enough to tell on my party, because though we had one lone MLA last assembly, but he was never on part of,
side.
But today we are zeroed down. So, but I feel ultimate that is one of the platform in a democracy, parliamentary forum, which should be it's topmost platform, and above it there is another platform called People's Court. That's a people's larger platform, ultimate platform. So here we are. I am basically say NCP. We are here on the road. Will be, and there has to be pressure. There is another called. We have a social media. Now the issues which are coming up, all these elected MLAs, whether you are on the treasury bench or in opposition, should really go through the social media, not the WhatsApp group, and what social media in real terms speaks about it. And there is galore of issues which are, they have to prioritize the issues and take it and highlight in the assembly. And as Prakashji rightly said it, to have the success of a government, whether the government is good or bad, ultimately it lies, onus is on the opposition. How powerful, how vigilant, how studied, how educated, in sense, not education, I'm saying how they are exposed. In sense, he may be illiterate also, but if he knows the issue dear to his heart, he can speak out. You may be first time MLA, but yet you can make your presence feel.
Actually, Avinash Babu, I'll interrupt you. Why I want to bring AAP into this. Now, we are talking about opposition. I agree, everybody is talking about Congress. Okay, now, sometimes it is useless flogging a dead horse. I'm not saying that I'm not comparing any party to any animal. There would be an insult to the animal, sorry. But the thing is that, what I'm saying is now AAP is there, the new kids on the block.
Yeah.
What are the issues that are Goa is facing? We have very good roads. We have 24/7 electricity. Light never goes. We have water also 24/7. So is that the reason why AAP and RG and all not taking up these issues?
See, yes, I'll
No,
just,
our roads are like
No, I
brilliant.
feel one point is that these are new entrants. They will take their time to settle down.
Let it talk.
see, I will just elaborate on this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
And I have been to Delhi. Delhi, the roads are brilliant. Electricity is also good.
correct. See, as far as roads are concerned, आमकां सगळ्यांक खबर आसा की 1 नोव्हेंबरा फाटल्यान एकूय रस्त्यार खड्डो फुटले ना, फक्त आमचे सारकेच उरले. See, another thing, aspect of this is we all agree that most of the MLAs are young and new. Now, कशें जातले ते MLAs experience कशें जातले, assemblyन बरे तरेन आपले मुद्दे कशें मांडटले. One way is practice. As per the experience comes with practice.
Yes.
Now, तुम्ही जर तर 45 दिसाची assembly 10 दीस घेतले जाल्यार आमचे MLA कशें फुडें वचपाक मेळटा.
At that point, I agree. Yes, totally.
Now, one reason I would like to highlight with respect to this curtailment of assembly, म्हाका दिसता BJPन स्वताक एक वॉकओवर दिल्लो आसा, एक बाय दिल्लो आसा. अशें जालें की तांकां एक रिजन निमित्त मेळ्ळें की पंचायत इलेक्शन आसा, कोड लागतलो आनी ताका लागून आमकां करचें पडटा. बट हू इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर दीस? एक स्ट्रेट पॉइंटेड क्वेश्चन I wanted to ask, who is responsible for this code coming in force and assembly बरोबर जावपाक कोण responsible आसा? Now, we very well know ki once there is a judgment passed by Dr. Samanta Sangat, he is well experienced, he may correct me. एक सुप्रीम कोर्टाचो जजमेंट जालो म्हणटकच इट बिकम्स लॉ. इट इज सगळें आमकां खबर आसा. ट्रिपल टेस्ट जेन्ना सुप्रीम कोर्ट सांगता की इट इज मॅन्डेटरी, जाल्यार वाय गोवा गव्हर्मेंट हॅज मातशें दोय बंद करून कित्याक रावले? जस्टीस सोनकाची जजमेंट जर तर तुमी पळयली न्ही जाल्यार अक्षरशः गोवा गव्हर्मेंटाक धुवन काडला आसा. सी, देर इज प्रोविजन फॉर ST आनी SC, रिजर्वेशन इज मॅन्डेटरी. With regards to OBC, article says, constitution says that government may provide, but Supreme Court in this 2010 judgment says that you have to conduct a triple test. Triple test मागीर जाली आमचे OBC commission, they have to provide empirical data. Now the reason also pointed out rightly by the High Court, that reason what government gave for postponing of election is not to collect this data, but because पावस आसा, हे आसा, ते आसा.
Yes.
सो अगेन एंड अगेन हायकोर्टान सांगलें आसा की गव्हर्मेंट इज नॉट सिरियस अबाउट OBC रिजर्वेशन. आनी आतां जालें अशें की वी वर ऑलमोस्ट एट दी वर्ड्स की OBC रिजर्वेशन मेळचें ना. नाव आय अग्री, आयजच हांव CMाचें स्टेटमेंट पळयतालो की तो म्हणटा की OBC रिजर्वेशन ना अशें म्हणटाले, आतां आमी रिजर्वेशन दिल्लें आसा. ही इज टॉकिंग एज इफ OBCचेर तेणी एक उपकार केल्ल्या भशेन. I am coming from OBC, we are entitled for it. So the question still remains is who is responsible? गव्हर्मेंटाक जेन्ना व्हेरी वेल खबर आसलें की ट्रिपल टेस्ट करना जाल्यार तुमकां एक घेवपाक मेळची ना, रिजर्वेशन दिवपाक मेळची ना. मध्य प्रदेशानूय जाल्लें, ऑलमोस्ट महाराष्ट्रान जावपाक पावल्लें, जाल्यार इतलें तुमकां खबर आसतना तुमी हें कित्याक केलें ना?
Fair enough. Now I would, we are like out of time. We have to go. Back to the live. So I would like closing statements from last. Viraj, you have anything to add?
No, not much.
Besides the fact that the government also, opposition I know has to bring
Yeah.
up point, but government also has to realize that
No, one point I would like to make is there's lot of talk about ye naka te naka.
Te
So there should be something which is ye zai te zai. So we should go forward. We should look at
Positive.
positives, jobs, employment, startups, companies coming up, so that overall the society can prosper. That building of that ecosystem. So both from the opposition and from the government side would like to see something like that.
Also, I feel the assembly speaker, leader of the house, that is CM, and leader of the opposition.
That
No,
is an
that
issue.
has a role. That has a role to see that questions and issues what you are pointing out should be allowed to be on the this floor of the house. If you go and don't allow them, how people's issues will come out?
okay, Avinash Babu, I need fast 1 minute.
Health,
End.
education, infrastructure, social security schemes आणि ओव्हरऑल विमेन अँड चाइल्ड डेव्हलपमेंट हाचेर बारीक लक्ष दिवन स्ट्रेस दिवन स्पेंडींग चड जावपाक जाय आनी हाचे कडेन चड लक्ष दिवपाक जाय.
Education especially, education and
Education
maintenance of infrastructure. Avinash Babu, we will bring you in for last 20 seconds.
Well, I would just opine that the government, or more particularly the treasury bench, should respect the opposition. Don't ridicule the opposition.
Okay.
That respect is very much important. You don't demoralize the opposition by your various instrument with the government agency. Respect the opposition, give them opportunity to expose the government, whatever it may be.
Okay.
That is a real democracy. If you practice democracy, the onus is on the ruling party, because you are the haves. So you have to protect the have-nots. I say opposition have not. They don't have infrastructure. They don't have anything.
Okay.
They don't even have.
Okay.
So government should
Yeah,
be
okay,
respected.
yes,
Yeah.
we will continue now. Tomorrow, day after tomorrow, there is no assembly, so we'll be back again on Monday. And keep watching Goa 365.